Hey, how's everybody doing today? So it's been about 10 months since I first put out that first dropshipping tutorial, and so many of you have gone through and taken advantage of it. I hope you found tremendous value in that video. I hope it helped you get your Shopify store set up, and I hope it really streamlined the process for you. Now, to me, it's crazy that that was 10 months ago that I created that first video. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to take an opportunity here in July of 2017 to kind of do a self-audit. Technology changes so quickly. We want to make sure we're still putting out the most relevant and most useful information available. So if you haven't already done so, I urge you to subscribe to the channel here. We're putting out a lot of great content to help you out be successful online. And part of my audit, the first thing I want to mention is if you're thinking about getting your Shopify store started, especially if you're going to do drop shipping with AliExpress, then definitely take advantage of my free 2-hour tutorial. You'll be able to find a link to that video down in the description below, because the first thing I noticed is I went back through and I watched that entire tutorial. Now, of course, it gets great feedback. Of course, it's totally free, but I wanted to take a look at it myself. And one thing I can tell you is it's still the best free tutorial available. Hands down, out of everything I've seen, I've heard multiple people who've gone through this free 2-hour Shopify tutorial tell me it's better than some of the paid courses. I'll never forget, I'll just tell you a funny story. One guy, and I won't mention the name of the course, I don't even really know who was selling this course, but one guy came to me and he sent me an email after he went through the free 2-hour tutorial. He says, man, I gotta tell you, thank you so much. I especially enjoyed the Facebook pixel part. I kid you not, I spent X amount of dollars on a Shopify course. And when the guy got to the Facebook pixel part, he said, I don't know what this does, but it works, so use it. So at the very least, one thing I can tell you is that free 2-hour tutorial is on point. And once again, you'll find the link to that video in the description below. Now, another cool thing that does is it talks about one of my Facebook advertising strategies. And this tutorial goes through and talks about how I use content marketing to give myself a competitive advantage. And if you don't know what that means right now, don't worry about it. There's time. The best thing you can do today is just get started. But the point I'm trying to make is content marketing. I know there's a lot of Shopify gurus out there, and a lot of them are giving great information, and you shouldn't just listen to me is an absolute truth. Use my tutorial, understand and use what I have to tell you, but also cross-reference that with some of the other popular YouTube gurus or whatever who are teaching e-commerce, because they can provide value as well. But the point I'm getting at is you're going to hear more talk from these other Shopify gurus about content marketing. That in the second half of 2017 and 2018 is what I think the transition is going to be, because that brings me to the next point of Shopify and e-commerce store and Facebook advertising, okay, or in advertising in general. It is going to get more competitive. There are hundreds of people starting e-commerce stores every single day. Now, don't let that frustrate you, because the thing you have to understand, if there's something that a lot of people are doing, okay, that means it works. Okay, people wouldn't continue to open up e-commerce stores with Shopify and even drop shipping if it didn't work. But back to the original point I was making here, it is going to get more competitive. So, back in the day, when this was kind of new, I think it was probably as simple as finding a cool product, something interesting that's cheap on AliExpress, say maybe $3 or $4, and turning around, creating a Facebook ad and sell it for $20. Yes, in the beginning, maybe even 10 months ago when I created my 2-hour tutorial, that was a viable option. And I'm not saying you can't do that with the right combination of ad and cool products, something that has a cool feature. It can be done, but there's only a finite number of products out there, so there's going to be a lot of competition. What you have to do to set yourself apart is find a way to maybe tell more of a story, and that's where content marketing is going to come in. And that's going to be a big shift I think we see going forward in the whole Shopify dropshipping Facebook advertising arena. Sticking with the Facebook advertising arena, let's talk about that right now. The thing we have to remember when we're doing our Facebook ads is Facebook is social media. Okay, yes, the product can carry you a long way, but really you have to get people involved. Likes, shares, recommendations from friends. Someone sees your product or your ad and then they tag their friend in the description or in the comment section, I guess I should say, and say, hey, check this out. That's like free traffic. So you got to start thinking about Facebook as what it is, and that's a social network. So keep that in mind when you're creating your ads, you're deciding what products to choose. Now going forward in the second half of 2017 and into 2018 with Shopify e-commerce and Facebook advertising, one thing that I can really think can set you apart and really help you achieve success when you're running your ads is you have to start thinking about video. Okay, I know it's more difficult, I know it's tough, I know it's more labor intensive, but if you have an iPhone or if you have a Samsung, and just a little bit of creativity, you have all the tools that you need to start creating video. Your first video might stink, it might be terrible. This video you're watching, I have no delusions. I know this is not a professionally shot video. I'm actually on the road right now, so this is just a quick setup that I put together, but you know what? It works. I'm putting out information, I'm out there, I'm just doing it. So that's really important, and it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. A cheap tripod, maybe a quick, easy light setup. The light setup I'm using right now cost me less than $20, and a microphone, and you're good to go. Now, however you do that video will be up to you, and like I said, creativity will win points. However, as I mentioned, video is going to be a huge advantage for you. Some of the best and most successful products that I see come across my news feed, the ones that probably everyone's seen, it's video advertisements that are really pushing products right now. Like I said, that's not to say that you can't do it without video ads, and you don't have to start there. Start with stagnant or picture ads, and then just think about transitioning. Always think about raising the bar. Now, speaking of raising the bar, another thing to think about going forward with Shopify and e-commerce is it's all about building your brand. Sooner or later, as advertising gets more expensive, it is going to be impossible to simply run Facebook ads and profit selling physical products. What you have to be doing is you have to be building your brand, and the easiest way to build your brand is by focusing on collecting emails. Because once you collect that email, then you can market to these customers or potential customers for free for the rest of eternity, as long as you don't spam them with offers and give them a reason to unsubscribe from your list. So email marketing is going to be the difference maker in e-commerce as we go forward. So start thinking about it, start getting involved with it, start looking at the potential with email marketing. Because once again, advertising is going to get more expensive, so once you acquire that email, then you can market to them for free. That will also tie in with a content marketing strategy that I talked about in the beginning of this video. Now, speaking of email marketing, really what you have to look at, what you're doing is you're trying to acquire customers. So no matter what you're doing, if you're giving, you see a lot of the online marketers do it, where they give away a free ebook or something like that in order to get you on their list, because then they can market to you using their sales funnel over time. That's how you're going to have to start looking at Shopify, as customer acquisition. And the cool thing is if you can find a way to acquire a customer at break even, okay? You're not looking to necessarily make a profit on your first sale to that customer, but if you can find a way to acquire that customer at break even, for instance, if you have to spend $5 on ads to sell a $10 product that makes you $5 in profit, then you just acquire that email address. You acquire that customer at break even. And then from that point forward, you can scale up, because if you put in $5 and get $5 back time and time and time again, there's no reason then that over time you can't spend $1,000 a day and get $1,000 a day back, or even more, and acquire these customers. Then follow up on the back end with that email and market to them, and that's where you're going to see your profit. So that brings me to the last point. Everyone asks about free plus shipping. Free plus shipping, is free plus shipping viable? Is it dead? And the fact of the matter is free plus shipping has been around a lot longer than Shopify and drop shipping. All it really is a way to acquire a customer at break even. So just to finalize and summarize, yes, Shopify is going to be very much alive and well. The drop shipping model is viable. It will continue to be a viable option. Maybe you start with AliExpress and then start looking out to source maybe different suppliers. For instance, I'm in talks with a company right now that has a technology that's going to allow you to almost seamlessly, or at the very least more easily, find drop shippers on Etsy. So that opens up a whole nother opportunity. So there's opportunity out there. The drop shipping suppliers that integrate with Shopify seamlessly are going to continue to grow. So now is the time to start learning this platform. It's not going away. It will continue to grow. All right, thanks for watching. Once again, if you're just getting started, don't let that scare you. It's a viable option. It's beginner friendly. as beginner friendly as any sort of marketing online is going to get. Go ahead and check out that link in the description below and take advantage of that free 2-hour tutorial. Subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you soon.